Project halls, 40 side wind, seen it all. I can see niggas a slide, I'd rather show them the ropes. Integrity matters the most. I get a hood hope, damn, I get a hood classics. Something to open your mind, instead of going out crashing. How was you real when you hate the real? I'm simply asking. Can't just talk about the plan, you gotta put it in. Ain't no pity party for yourself, you gotta get up, rise for your wealth. Can't spend all that time in your feelings trying to sympathize with yourself. Don't nobody owe you, ain't nobody holding you back. You stuck in illusions, attached to something that ain't even that. South Beach, Nassau, Amalfi, Maldives, same beach. Unless you are after something most men just can't see. Shorty off the block, shorty off the runway, same free. We all got the access to open doors like we share the same key. OG talk.
A lot of things go down like incarceration, crime, drugs, violence. Out of all of this, you gotta look for the positive.
OG talk. OG talk. OG talk. Project halls. 40 side wind, seen it all. I can see slide. I'd rather show them the ropes. Integrity matters the most. I get a hood hope. Damn, it's really gotta jump it. They finally gave Nas a Grammy just for me to go. That wasn't the goal. First click was a warning shot, we spin it back up the road. Through the barrows, pull up a rose, empty the reload. You been in it this long, it's gon' look like it's magic. Only Allen at my knew was right cause it's statin'. You get your first feet 12, tap the pedal and stab it. Get your first 10 milli, watch that like a habit. OG talk, shout out 41st side, Jackson Heights, Flushing Elmhurst. Keep it blicky, you know how the streets work. Seen too many of us die over the turf. OG talk. Project halls, 40 side wind, seen it all. I can see niggas a slide. I'd rather show them the ropes. Integrity matters the most. I get a hood hope. Till then, we gon' be thugging behind a project building, plotting on a way that we could make a million, a billion. Until then, we gon' be thugging.
Alright, good people, welcome back to my channel. Before we start, I want to thank a whole lot of people who really showed up for me. First up is my man Phil. Good man, answered all of my questions, responded to my Instagram messages. In fact, I heard from him as early as today. He urged me to make sure I share the good and the bad with the people because we need to hear that too. So I'm going to start with the good, and we'll talk about some bad things. It's not what you really expect, so hold on tight. And thank you to everybody who's here. Everybody showed up for me in a big way. Another brother is my man Anagadan. Thank you for the Facebook group. My man Millennial Hair Transplants was down to ride with me. We almost had a collab video, but thank you for being willing to help, brother. I appreciate you. Also from Anagadan's Facebook group is my man Torian. He went to HRS. He answered all my questions. When I had a few bad moments, he was responsive to my messages on Facebook. Appreciate you, brother. Also, my man Slim God Don. He'll be back soon, y'all. I'm going to let him tell his own story. But I was messaging him so much. He said, you know what? Instead of me just answering your questions, I think I'll make a video. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks a lot. My man Oren BB also was very responsive. Almost instantly. Same with almost everyone up here. Thanks a lot, Oren. My brother Good Life Joe showed up for me when it was looking dark. And if this guy's comments on his video resembles anything like his Instagram messages, thank you for taking that time, bro. You definitely didn't have to do it, and I appreciate it. My brother Riley, you're going to like this. He showed up and probably didn't even have a clue that he did. You'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. Appreciate you too, brother. Alright, now this one warmed my heart. This brother right here exemplifies the collaborative, supportive community that I found here on YouTube. And it kind of just speaks for itself. Do me a favor, please get over and subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. This is a good young brother. Appreciate you, man.
You gonna be alright. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the club. You gonna be alright though.
Alright, my man JT. Another brother I met in the Anagadan Facebook group held me down. The words in this text message speak for itself. I got pre and post-op instructions, all types of insides and pointers and he walked into HRS with me as a former client. All the love I got shown kind of felt like this. People were rooting for me, man. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm just playing. It felt more like this. I guess that's the difference between Corinthians 1 and 1 Corinthians. I don't mess around, lost a subscriber. I'm just playing, y'all. But I felt the love and the support. Let me tell you, it was palpable. It was strong. It was because of y'all, and I thank you. Alright, so the clips I started with earlier were of the hotel. Here's more footage of the hotel, inside the room and whatnot. Pretty decent room. The footage kind of speaks for itself. I was real comfortable while I was down there, but also nervous as hell that first night. It was crazy. So that first night was pretty chill, pretty calm. Though I did talk to a friend of 27 years who was hyping me like, yo, D, if you don't go to Magic City. So I thought about it outside, Googled it on my phone. I think it was 15 miles away. And my old ass was tired. I was like, look, I'm going to go in the grocery store, get some water. But man, when I walked in the grocery store, it was like I walked into Magic City. This young lady had like 15% of her body covered. I just had to get back to the hotel at that point. I was like, this is a mess. So yeah, there's a lot in that area to shop. There's a Subway, there's a Mexican spot. There's a Domino's. I actually got Domino's that night. I ended up buying more food than I needed, so I wouldn't have to go out the night after of my transplant. But be careful out there. At night, it's a different place. Yeah, so overall, a good time. Jitters. The night before is not a fun place. But, you know, I made it through it. So we'll transition a little bit. There's a few clips of some other locations in that area of the hotel, the Fairfield Inn.
Sure, it's about they gonna cut it off.
Alright, so here's the hard part of this video. As you can see, I walked in there with my man JT, my man Rodney. Special thank you to both you guys again. And things took a little bit of a twist. So I kind of refuse to say anything disparaging. My son is watching this, and I want to show him, you know, how you respond when you feel like you've been done wrong, or when things don't go your way. You simply dust yourself off and you move forward. He's on day 12 of his college experience. He's a freshman at UMass Amherst. Also, this is a really good clinic for people of color. In a moment, I'm going to show you two brothers who actually got theirs done the day I was supposed to. Now, the reasons they gave for not doing it, I don't want to give those any life. If you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen reasons for me to be more than certain that the outcome should have been different. Now, I can only speculate, and I imagine some of you guys will too, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to throw any shade on these guys. They gave me a full refund on my flight. I actually missed my flight home. So I was scheduled for Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on the 28th, and I was scheduled to fly out the next day on the 29th. I got to the airport on time. It's a long story, but they paid for another day in the hotel, and that was the tough part. I went through every stage of grief, and I'm sure my neighbors in the hotel was like, what is wrong with this guy? There were parts of my personality that I thought I outgrew. So I'm in there saying every expletive that you could imagine, every bomb that you could throw pretty much came out of my mouth. But it also provided me an opportunity to soul search. The entire way I had approached this with logic and reasoning, neglecting the whole mental or emotional aspect. I pretty much know everything there is related to a hair transplant. I know what it is to research for years, to prepare for months, to what the night before feels like, what the morning of feels like, excuse me, what it's like to get into the place and have that, oh shit, this is it moment. But it just wasn't to be. Now, I'm going to show you guys some pictures or photos of guys, video. This first brother up is from LA. They actually did his father's hair. He showed me pictures 25 years ago. I believe he went for a touch-up 10 years ago. And this dude is in his 50s with an afro. The second dude is from Memphis. Alright, this guy had 1,500 grafts. The second guy, 3,000. So I really hated to be outside the bubble on this. You can see in my face I was a little hurt. I also hated to rain on their parade. But in the moment, I had my first breakthrough sitting on the porch with my man talking. Was very happy for these guys, but at the same time, felt some kind of way. Shit had me hollering. What are we watching out here? We watching my man Riley on the porch. Yo, the part where he was trying to convince the dude to do it, he was like, that ain't me. That had me crying.
Yeah, he was like trying to get his penis down.
These guys were cool as shit. So this is the morning of leaving. I just thought the sky was beautiful. Mission was unaccomplished, but I was starting to feel better because I knew I was going home. I get to see my wife, my kids, and get into work mode. School would be starting 12 days later. It actually starts 2 days from today, so I'm pretty good. Again, HRS is a great clinic. I've seen it. I've seen two that were freshly done. I saw JT, and Marshall was actually also a client, even though he works there. And I seen pictures, so I know it works. I also spoke to some of the locals. They also attested that it was a good clinic. So this is Atlanta's airport, and I'm headed to the crib, y'all. So almost immediately, I began to strategize. What next? Because I knew I was a hair transplant candidate. I have doctors on documented telling me so much. And you know, the funny thing with HRS, I was prepared to walk out. I wasn't prepared to be shown the door. So you never know. This is a tricky thing. Though the reasons that HRS gave me were hogwash, in my opinion. I kind of knew better. Thankfully, I had educated myself because I could imagine the despair. I felt like I was a Norwood 7 when I walked out of there. But in my pivoting, I began to think about these guys from my last video. And HRS had suggested that I go with a doctor in my area, and before I do so, do 3 rounds of PRP to my certain parts of my head. And I started thinking, like, you know what? these guys over at New England Hair Restoration, he said all the right stuff. But one of the things my experience at HRS taught me or showed me is I don't really have the stomach for 3, 4, 5 of these. In addition to that, he said the right thing, but that didn't mean he had the experience. Well, on paper, everything told me, break it up into multiple procedures, maybe do 3 rounds of PRP with these guys, wait 6 months, kick the tires, look under the hood. Hopefully by then I meet a black patient or 2 and give it a go. It's a bit risque. I still remain impressed with the consultation I did with these guys, but when I asked them for pictures of other African Americans that they worked on, they were only able to send me 2. One of a woman and one of a dude. And I didn't want to feel like I was the 3rd person they were working on. But at the end of the day, if you're African American, scratch that, or any ethnicity for that matter, a hair transplant is a risk. Every last one of these doctors and clinics have a bad or 2 or 3 or a dozen bad reviews. Everybody is not the same. Everybody that you hear do any type of video on YouTube, they all say the same thing. You can't expect the same results, etc. So it's sort of a gamble that we all have to be willing to take.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
The most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
So from the beginning, there's been an underlying tension, so to speak, based off all my research. I know I should probably do FET. I know that, breaking it up into smaller sessions would be best. I know that the U.S. has protections from the Better Business Bureau and for consumers. I know that even aftercare would be better. I guess this is not on purpose. All this has just come together. I don't know why I can't have a regular hair journey like everybody else. I don't know what is going on, why it's happening. I like to think there's a reason behind all this. But yeah, it's almost like when they tell you should drink a lot of water, or you should eat a certain way, or you should get certain hours of sleep. We all know what's best, but not everybody listens, and there's varying outcomes based off of that. So one day, as I'm justifying in my brain going this route and thinking about the 6 months that it's going to take, I go and I check the mail. And in the mail, there's a couple cardboard boxes, etc. And my wife is always buying or ordering something. And come to find out, there was something in there that I thought would take a lot longer. Upon finding this, I realized that the trip to Atlanta was worth it. I got to meet 4 people who've had hair transplants. Never met anybody who had a hair transplant before that. And I also discovered that multiple procedures may not be for me. I know I told y'all it was going to be a long journey, 2, 3 years. I'll hang out that long, but I don't know if I could do it. This new development also ups the ante. The risk involved go up significantly because I will be using 80% of my available donor area. Yep, you guessed it. My passport came in. And, after contemplating going the route of staying in the Boston area and going through 3 or 2 procedures, I went ahead and I booked that flight, man. I hit up here of Istanbul, and it's scheduled for October 9th, which is 4 days short of being on finasteride and about 2 weeks short of my 41st birthday. So when I turn 41, I'll be looking at that nice crispy hairline before the uh, before the shedding phase or ugly duckling, whatever you call it. Um, so if you had asked me 2 weeks ago if I were in a rush, I'd have said no, I'm ready. Um, I know everything I need to know to go in here. I understand the risk. Um, I understand the fact that everybody's different. But if you ask me that question today, I would say I'm both ready and in a rush. If I see if I see one more dude outside in the 3 to 6 month mark with a full head like y'all is on, I'm gonna go crazy. There's a home run derby going on YouTube and on the Facebook group that Anagadan runs. It's utterly ridiculous at this point. So for me, man, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do the damn thing. Also, one more thing, I want to help. I want to kind of help put an end, as Riley puts it, to the hair transplant or hair transplant hate. I was never Team USA. I was never Team Turkey. I have been Team Baby Hairs, Team Everybody Eats, Team Mount Baltimore. Now, if you're fighting hair loss, all of us, we are all goats. And what do goats do? Goats climb mountains. And in this particular case, it's Mount Baltimore. Now, some of us gonna go up one way, some of us gonna go up the other. I just hope we can all meet at the top. All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all with some bonus footage. This footage is some of my WhatsApp and email correspondence confirming my appointment with Hair of Istanbul. It's pretty cool. It's pretty different from the WhatsApp consultation that I posted here on my channel. I think you'll find it interesting. You made it this far. Please make it to the end. And for rocking with me, y'all. Definitely appreciate it. See you soon.
Yes, sir. Did you not hear me? We can't give out no information.